Weather Geeks time, Weather Geeks time. It is Thursday evening, the first day of February. Welcome to February, everyone. Thanks, as always, for watching my in-depth weather video. We do this every day, every weekday, or 90% of weekdays anyway. Sometimes we take Friday off if the weather is quiet enough, but the weather is anything but quiet as we head into the second month of the year. So let's not waste any time and get right to the details. Things are a-changin' this evening. I'm recording this video at about 7:20 p.m., and at that point, temperatures had started to fall in Youngstown, and compared to 24 hours ago, it's 7 degrees colder. But look at the bigger numbers off to the west, 20 to 30 degrees colder than 24 hours ago in parts of the Great Lakes states and the upper Midwest, and that is the air that's coming our way. We'll see numbers like that around here tomorrow, with temperatures no better than the teens tomorrow afternoon. At about 7:20 this evening, we had some very light snow, and things are just wet, with temperatures near or even a little above freezing in some spots. This is not the lake effect. This is snow near the Arctic cold front that's pushing through, and this kind of brief period of steady light snow be pretty inconsequential and will push away. What I'm going to keep an eye on over the next few hours is the lake, and already starting to see the beginnings of our lake effect out over Lake Erie, and as the Arctic air continues pouring over the lake, and remember the lake is fairly open now, fair amount of ice over here, but the west central part of Lake Erie is fairly ice-free. Expect to see some bands really setting up over the next several hours. Here's a look at the temperature loop over the last 12 hours. You can really see that cold air mass sinking south and east. We hit a high in the mid-40s today. It was a nice day. It wasn't bright and sunny, but it was a bargain for February 1st. That's the last time we're going to see the mid-40s, though, for a little while. All right, so our steady snow pushes away this evening. Here comes the lake effect, then. Now, this will be fairly disorganized at first, but still, if you plan on being on the roads later on this evening towards midnight, especially in the western end of our viewing area, there's probably going to be some snow showers around, and notice how much it will have cooled by then. And so there can be some locally slick travel. I'm a little more concerned, though, about late tonight and heading into tomorrow morning. Our model here, you know, it kind of shows one dominant band. This high-res model kind of tends to do that, and it kind of disregards other bands. But I think you'll see maybe one beefy band like this, but several fingers of lake effect trying to get going tomorrow morning. This is one of those situations where conditions could really be changeable across the region if you're out and about tomorrow morning. You could be moseying along and it's cold, but it's fine, and then all of a sudden you're in a whiteout. And those are the kind of conditions that can cause a lot of problems on the roads when conditions are so changeable like that. We had kind of a similar situation Monday night and Tuesday morning this week. It was a lake effect situation. We had slick travel across parts of the region, but it was very, very changeable or variable depending on where you were. That's what we expect for tomorrow morning as well. Now, all of this will settle down by the afternoon. We're just left with cold air and wind chills near zero for the afternoon. So, again, travel impacts late tonight into tomorrow morning can be moderate to high. It's going to be one of those mornings where you're just going to have to pay attention because things can change. The visibility can suddenly drop. The secondary roads in particular could get real slick in some spots, but some places will be okay. It's going to be one of those deals where you know, you're not going to see the same thing everywhere. Here's what I've done with the snowfall forecast. Kind of an unusual looking map, but this is the way it should set up. I'll zoom into our local area here. What I've done here is allowed for 2 to maybe 3 or 4 inches in this fairly narrow zone, stretching from Newton Falls down through Austintown, Ellsworth, Canfield, Boardman, Columbiana, Unity, I should say. I'm tired tonight. The words don't want to come out of my mouth. Southeastern Mahoning County, southwestern Lawrence County. These are the places that have the best chance of seeing 2 inches or more. Now, will every spot in here see 2 inches or more? Probably not. But this is the zone you have the best chance of seeing more than a couple of inches. Outside of that zone, even if you just see a half an inch or an inch, if it comes at a bad time and comes in a hurry, you could still have some slick travel on the roads tomorrow morning. So don't get too caught up in the numbers here. The impacts could be fairly significant tomorrow morning because of the changeable nature of things. So again, Lordstown, Newton Falls, the turnpike could be tricky tomorrow morning. Anyone traveling to Cleveland tomorrow morning, that's not going to be a fun trip because that's going to be going right into that potentially dominant band across parts of the turnpike. tomorrow morning. So caution definitely advised there. New Middletown, Columbiana, Unity, again, Little Beaver over towards Newcastle. That's the zone you have the best chance of seeing 2 inches, maybe 3 or 4. All right, let's talk about the weekend situation. Our model here tries to bring a little snow to the area late in the afternoon Saturday. Not really buying this just yet. I think the better chance for snow will be later in the evening, well after sunset. And then I do think it's going to snow for a fair amount of Saturday night and heading into Sunday. But even though this looks kind of ominous, I don't think the impacts are going to be crazy on this on Sunday, because I'm going to show you the temperatures in a second. We're going to be south of the warm front. And so this is not going to be snow falling into air that's 20 degrees. It may be above freezing for a fair amount of Sunday. And that will help us out on the roads. It'll keep accumulations largely to non-paved surfaces during the daylight hours on Sunday. Check out the temperatures here on the model. Starting Sunday morning already near freezing and maybe bobbing up a few more degrees during the daylight hours, up to 34, 35 while it's snowing. So again, that should keep things in decent shape on the roads. So what you can expect as far as the weekend situation: snow begins Saturday night. It's with us for a good chunk of Sunday. Accumulations during the daylight hours on Sunday, mostly non-paved surfaces. But I am concerned about a rapid freeze-up Sunday night, and there'll probably be some lingering flurries or snow showers Sunday night. And even though there may not be much in the way of additional accumulation Sunday night, any snow that falls Sunday night could be problematic with the temperatures plunging. Everything kind of damp and wet from the daytime hours. That could lead to black ice and slick spots and some hazardous travel for Sunday night and perhaps early on Monday as well. So that's our next chance. Then we have another chance of snow next week. Here's the GFS model. We'll fast forward to midweek. This is Tuesday afternoon. This should be a light snow event along a weak boundary Tuesday into Tuesday night, and then a strong area of low pressure, or a strengthening area of low pressure, should track east on Tuesday night into Wednesday. Now, there's certainly some model shenanigans going on here, and the details this far out are fuzzy, because we don't know how strong this low may or may not be, how fast this thing is moving, but there's a pretty good chance of at least some snow Tuesday into Tuesday night and maybe parts of Wednesday as well. How much, exact timing, all that stuff, that stuff will work out as we get closer. There's just there's too much we don't know at this point. All right, let's talk a little bit about the longer range. I'm going to show you this evening's European weeklies, the long-range European modeling that gets updated on Mondays and Thursdays. And it's doing some interesting things during the second half of February. I'm not sure if I believe it yet, but if it ends up being right, we could have a pretty nice second half of the month, at least better than the first half of the month. I'll show you what I mean here. Here's our near term. We've got lots of cold anomalies across Canada, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes states. Now, as we get into Valentine's Day, here's the 13th and 14th, the cold starts to retreat back up into northern Canada, and the U.S. gets flooded, it looks like, by Pacific air. And so notice all the warm anomalies here, starting around the 14th or 15th and taking us through much of the rest of the month. Now, not sure if I buy this yet. If this were to be believed, our February forecast of a couple of degrees below average and kind of similar to January may not work out right. We'll be okay in the first half of the month, but if the second half of the month thaw is right, then our forecast will be in trouble. Not sure if I buy that just yet. The U.S. modeling, here's the climate forecast system modeling, keeps the cold anomalies pretty entrenched here through much of February. It really doesn't start to break out into that warmth until the very end of the month. So there's certainly some model disagreements here. There's a lot of uncertainty in the longer range. I only showed you a couple of things here. There's a lot more I could show you, but I'm going to keep an eye on the trends on that European long-range set of modeling. It could score a nice coup here, or it could be totally out to lunch. I'm rooting for it to score a coup because, like a lot of people, I'm getting kind of tired of winter and looking forward to some warmer days ahead. So I'll have another update on that set of modeling next Monday. More updates on tonight's snow, tonight's falling temperatures, the weekend snow, and everything else throughout the rest of this evening on social media. I'll probably do a video blog from home tomorrow morning. And of course, I'll have an update tonight on the news, on 21 News at 11 o'clock.